Cold air off the Adriatic sticks to your clothes. Diesel, salt, cheap cigarettes. Duras at night is forklifts and shadows between container stacks, where nobody uses full names and nothing gets written down. You're paid in folded cash and silence is the only thing that keeps you breathing. This is your life, level by level, inside a Balkan cocaine corridor. Level 1 Port Runner, Duras night shift. You're disposable until you see the pattern. You move along the fence line with a plastic bag that smells like fuel and fried dough. A high-vis vest that isn't yours hangs loose on your shoulders. You run cigarettes to a guardhouse, a jerrycan to a forklift crew, a spare radio battery to a man who never looks directly at you. The port lights buzz overhead. Container numbers blur into white paint and rust. You tell yourself it's just errands. You tell yourself cash is cash. You tell yourself the night shift is always like this. But your real job isn't moving product. It's moving access. A borrowed badge for 30 seconds. A terminal gate routine who smokes at 2:10, who takes a bathroom break at 2:18, who looks away for exactly the length of a single deep breath. One wrong container number and you become the only story anyone can offer. The fear is primitive, teeth tight, tongue dry, when an older man finally leans in and says, "Remember this. Rip on, rip off." You understand the port isn't the backdrop. The port is the hiding place, and you are the easiest thing to throw overboard. Level 2 Seal Breaker, Rip on, Rip off crew. Your promotion is a crime that leaves paperwork behind. They hand you a container number like it's an address. Then a seal code. Then a window. 8 minutes, maybe less. You walk under stacked steel boxes that sweat saltwater. Your gloves are thin. Your pockets hold a cutter, a replacement bolt seal, and a marker that matches the official ink. You tell yourself the seal is just plastic. You tell yourself nobody checks every box. You tell yourself the scanners are for show. But rip on, rip off isn't luck. It's choreography. You need someone at the origin to contaminate the load. You need someone at the destination to recover it. Your crew lives in the dirty middle break, stash, reseal, leaving a tiny signature that can be matched later if anyone cares enough. You learn the real currency isn't cocaine. It's information. Which stack row the box is in. When the mobile scanner runs. Which lane moves fastest. Which supervisor is covering for a sick colleague tonight. Every clean reseal proves you're useful, and every job creates evidence that can be traded like coins when the handcuffs click. Level 3 Ferry Courier, Duras right pointing arrow Bari, Ancona run. You cross borders with a smile and a spare tire full of fear. Your life becomes timetables and exhaust. Duras departures posted in fluorescent boards. Cars packed tight on the ferry deck, families with snack bags, truckers with thermoses, kids asleep against windows. You blend in with a small suitcase and a face that pretends to be bored. Bari, sometimes Ancona. The Adriatic looks calm when you're not the one hiding weight in a vehicle. You tell yourself customs is routine. You tell yourself you look like everyone else. You tell yourself fear is obvious only to the person feeling it. You're trained in inspection theater. Keep receipts where they'll find them. Put clean luggage on top like an invitation. Answer questions with irritation, not panic. Let the officer choose the easy search. But the risk is physical now. No boss beside you. No fixer at the railing. Just your passport, your plate number, and Italian customs deciding whether today is the day they have time. When you survive a near miss, nobody punishes you. They watch you. They call it border luck, and luck is just another way to say you're ready to be owned. You've learned how to slip through gates, seals, and borders. The next step isn't crossing the line yourself, it's drawing the line for other people, and deciding who gets sacrificed when it snaps. Level 4 Logistics Fixer, Cars, Plates, and Corridors. You stop being the one who crosses and start building crossings for others. Your phone never fully charges anymore. It just rotates between outlets, cafe wall sockets in Shkodër, a mechanic's shop near Leja, a cousin's apartment in Tirana where the curtains stay half closed. You keep a notebook that looks like grocery lists, plate numbers, VIN fragments, ferry bookings, border shift names, and the kind of hotels that don't ask for passports if you pay in cash. You tell yourself you're only arranging transport. You tell yourself you're keeping things smooth. You tell yourself the real danger is handled by other people. But you're the corridor now. You build clean cars with dirty history switch plates in a yard behind a car wash, swap a rear quarter panel, replace a fuel pump, hide a void behind the door card with fresh Torx screws. You coordinate two drivers who never meet. One drops the vehicle in a supermarket lot, keys inside the ashtray. The other picks it up in 3 minutes. Your power is timing. Your burden is failure math. If the Italian side tightens, you reroute through Montenegro. If a border booth gets a new supervisor, you burn the plate set and start over. You don't smuggle cocaine anymore, you smuggle predictability, and it stains your hands like invisible ink. Level 5 Corridor Accountant, Launderer in Construction and Trade. You turn risk into invoices and cash into something that can stand in daylight. Morning smells like printer toner and strong coffee. You sit in an office above a tile showroom, where the samples are lined up like dominoes, travertine, porcelain, fake marble, all clean edges and plausible money. Your desk has 2 calculators, 3 stamps, and a stack of blank VAT invoices that feel heavier than bricks. You tell yourself numbers are neutral. You tell yourself you're just organizing. You tell yourself nobody gets hurt by a ledger. But you learn the corridor doesn't survive on courage, it survives on accounting. You break cash into parcels. 9,500 euros deposits, 8,700 euros cash sales, payroll envelopes for workers who never show. You run it through construction, used car imports, freight forwarding, and consulting contracts with one-page scopes. Your power is that you can make anything look ordinary. You can create a story with dates, signatures, and a rubber stamp that matches a real company registry entry. Your burden is audits and jealousies. A bank asks for beneficial ownership documents. A tax inspector wants site photos and delivery notes. A partner demands his cut in clean euros, not promises. You realize the dirtiest work isn't in the port, it's in the sentence that makes the cash believable. Level 6 Shadow Partner, the $500 million quiet stake. You don't move product. You move outcomes quietly, with distance. Nobody calls you by your street name anymore. They use polite words. Investor, sponsor, friend of the house. You meet in places that are designed to swallow sound. A private room above a seafood restaurant in Vlore. A back table at a hotel in Podgorica. A leased office in Vienna where the receptionist doesn't ask questions. You tell yourself you're insulated now. You tell yourself the corridor runs itself. You tell yourself distance is safety. But the corridor has a pulse you can feel through paper, shipping schedules, brokerage agreements, cash flow forecasts, and a list of people who can't be allowed to get nervous. You don't touch the kilos. You touch the levers: who gets credit, who gets paid first, who gets cut loose. Your power is command without fingerprints. One call reroutes a container to a different terminal. One favor delays a warrant by 48 hours. One quiet payout turns a loud problem into a quiet retirement in a village where nobody asks why. At this level, you learn the corridor isn't a road at all, it's a room, and you're the one holding the door closed. The higher you climb, the less you carry in your hands, and the more you carry in your head. The port noise fades. The ferry engines fade. What stays is the arithmetic: time windows, names, favors, debts. You can't wash it off with money or distance. In the end, the corridor isn't geography. It's the shape your mind takes to keep walking forward.